My name is Andrew Oliveros, and this is And Andrew, a Washington Commanders and Wizards podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Washington Wizards basketball is in a new era. We have a sense of direction. We have a potential generational player on our team now in Dybantsa. And we have so many other pieces that this amazing front office is putting together. Guys, and listen to this. We actually have a good team. We've got Trae Young, Anthony Davis, Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George. Now we have Dybantsa, Will Riley. I mean, the list can go on. I'm just going to list off some players just to remind you of what we had to deal with as an organization for so many years. When you look back at players that we've drafted, supposed to be a great player according to Tommy Shepard. He's like, man, this guy's going to be great. Kid out of Wisconsin, Johnny Davis. Where's Johnny Davis? I know he's not on my team. You know that meme when that guy tried to get into the Jets facilities after for practice or whatever, or for a meeting, and he put his key card or his P card in or whatever, and he couldn't get in? Johnny Davis that needs to be the same for you, bud. we don't want any more of Johnny Davis. It's very sad to say, but he is most likely going to be a bust. I don't even know where he is now. I don't even think he's in the league. And you go way back, like when I was in like middle school, Jan Vesely. Guys, Jan Vesely, man. Oh my gosh. Guys, you know, Jan Vesely, I could just keep going. Troy Brown Jr. We had Shabazz Napier, Isaac Bonga, Troy Brown Jr., Rui Hachimura, and Thomas Bryant. Do I need to say anything else? That's what the Wizards were dealing with. To no fault of their own for those players, they just play where they get drafted, right? Or where they come through free agency, whatever it might be. But guys, you know what our starting lineup is now? Trae Young, Keyshawn George. Trae Young, great player, led the league in assists, all-star caliber player if he's healthy. Keyshawn George, really up-and-coming player with the Wizards. Drafted him in the first round, what was it, like 2 years ago now? We have Dybantsa. Dybantsa. And I'm going to get into Dybantsa because, man, this kid is going to be generational. Anthony Davis, bro, he's an NBA champion, multiple-time All-Star. And then we have Alex R, an up-and-coming player as well. Great defender, number 2 pick, 2 years ago now. It's just so surreal to think that this is actually happening. You know, me as a Wizards fan, I'm optimistic. I was really hoping that they would always work out. I really pushed so hard and so much to hope that this organization could see some kind of light, right? We had the Bradley Beal years, when Russell Westbrook was playing here. Corey Kispert, Kyle Kuzma. I mean, all those guys. I was like, man, maybe. But it's not like this. This is actually, like, real. We can actually do something with this team. And it just got a whole lot better by drafting Dybantsa with the number 1 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. I get chills when I think about what this kid did in college basketball and what he's going to do for this organization, guys. Oh my goodness. Praise God. We are so blessed as an organization right now to have this kid and the pieces that this organization has put together and the direction. I mean, I could just go on and on and on about it. But staying on point about Dybantsa, he led the nation in scoring, averaging 25.5 points per game, almost 7 rebounds per game, nearly 4 assists per game, and just above 1 steals per game. Let's say you don't care too much about stats. That's okay. Let's talk about Dybantsa's game and what he brought onto the court, regardless of stats. He created separation with subtle footwork, and he rose into his fading jumpers. And speaking of jumpers, I actually have a super cool story to tell you guys about with Dybantsa and a legendary player out of the University of Maryland. So, pre-draft process, the reporter asked him a question. He was asking about which NBA player are you most like, but nobody compares you to. And he brought up a name that I was not expecting. He said Len Bias. And you might be thinking, Len Bias? Who's Len Bias? The guy had so much potential, guys. He was going to be like an all-star, maybe generational player. But he unfortunately and tragically passed away right after he was drafted. So he never played in the NBA, unfortunately, but has a legendary career at the University of Maryland. And AJ Dybantsa talked about how he really admires the way and the craft that Len Bias had in his mid-range jumper. And AJ Dybantsa himself also really cares about his mid-range jumper. And he's taken inspiration from Len Bias and what he did in his work with that he calls it MIDI. So I just think that's a really cool story. Len Bias, I mean, I know him because I'm from the DMV, but not everybody knows who Len Bias is. So I thought that was a really cool story. He said it was only like a few months ago until he ran into highlights of Len Bias. And he was like, yeah, I was looking at highlights on TikTok, watching some film on TikTok. I'm like, guys, am I that old? Watching highlights on TikTok? I mean, I use TikTok, but like, dang, I remember watching, I mean, not me specifically, but I remember when people, I mean, you would go into like a room or whatever and watch the tape or like on a USB drive or something, but TikTok, this made me kind of feel old. I don't know. We're going into the next generation. TikTok is where, I guess, where you get your highlights in your film, which is interesting. All right, back to Dybantsa's game. So he has an array of self-creation moves. He can finish above the rim when lanes are open. He draws free throws, putting constant pressure on defenses. He's also one of the most efficient pick-and-roll ball handlers in Division I basketball during his freshman year. Do I need to go on? You know what? I think I will. Because Wizards fans, let's enjoy this when we have it, okay? Because we have gone through hell and back with this organization, so we can enjoy the attributes, the stats, and all this guy, AJ Dybantsa, brings to this organization. So, let's talk about some comparisons that this guy's getting. I know he's not even played 1 minute in the NBA, but it's fun. Why not have a little fun? They're saying a little bit of Jaylen Brown, DeMar DeRozan, and what I liked, Tracy McGrady. Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady. How about that? How about them apples? And last season, again, only a freshman. He just played 1 year of college basketball. He was a consensus first-team All-American. Awarded best small forward. I think it's called the Julius Erving Award. That means you're the best small forward in all of college basketball, right? Finalist for Player of the Year. Not unfortunately. Props to Cameron Boozer. He was the third pick. He got picked by the Memphis Grizzlies. He won Player of the Year. But AJ Dybantsa, a finalist for that. He's a 3-time gold medalist with USA Basketball, including MVP in the 2025 FIBA Under-19 World Cup. And for the cherry on top, he was the first freshman with 30 points in the NCAA tournament debut since future Hall of Famer, best three-point shooter of all time, arguably best shooter of all time, Chef, look at Wardell Curry. Shout out to Flight Reacts. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. We got one of them once. And I just want you guys to hear me out for a second. So I understand it can be hard for some Wizards fans out there because of how much we've been hurt by this organization. Trust me, I get it. It's hard to actually believe this is real, right? In the beginning of this podcast, I talked about our lineup that we had. What was it, 2020, 2021? Shabazz Napier, Isaac Bonga, Troy Brown Jr., Thomas Bryant, and some other guy. What was his name? Rui Hachimura. Rui actually had some potential. I liked Rui. We're in a whole different kind of phase right now with this team, but I actually was kind of a little disappointed we let him go. I was still pro team Denny Avia. He's thriving in Portland. I don't think he would have ever just thrived in this system. Something I really liked that the front office and AJ Dybantsa brought up that proves that they just have a different mindset. It's a new era of Washington basketball. Is they don't only expect to make it to the playoffs, and I think this is going to be a playoff team come next year, but they don't just want to make the playoffs. Oh, hooray, we made it to the playoffs. No, they want to make a run in the playoffs. And that's just so different from what we had for so many years with Ernie Grunfeld and Tommy Shepard. They just accepted mediocrity. And I've talked about this on my podcast for super long, how it was so frustrating how year after year after year, they would just accept this poor play, mediocrity, and would be like, oh, well, we made it to the playoffs. Oh, we made it to the play-in. Oh, we just missed the playoffs. Oh, always next year, right? No more of that. We actually have a legit front office, legit players, and a legit direction, and I could not be more ecstatic about what's to come. My name is Andrew Oliveros, and this is And Andrew, a Washington Commanders and Wizards podcast. Guys, thank you so much for now you're watching the podcast, not only listening to it. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's going to be much more content coming from me, talking Wizards basketball, Commanders football right here on And Andrew, a Washington Commanders and Wizards podcast. Guys, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I love you guys.